Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel, Walk Within Moments with me, Kathy Carswell. So we're gonna go on a journey. And it's nighttime here where I'm at, so I'm saying we're going on a journey tonight, okay? In this journey, I'm going to share with you the many religions that myself as well as my family have taken and how I feel now, where I'm at now. First of all, before I even lose anybody, I'm going to say that my religion is the religion of love, okay? I love and accept all religions because they're all one. Because God said himself that he's going to have a representative in all four corners of the earth, all continents, all places, all hidden corners, okay? So I cannot dare think that, okay, everybody's going to be doing what I'm doing, this person, what they're doing, and this and that. No, times change, okay? People change, the climate change, everything change. So during those times, it's a representative in those times, okay? All right. So with that said, I believe in Christianity. I believe in Islam. I believe in Judaism. I believe in Buddhism. All the other isms there are, okay? I believe them. Why? Because they were prophets. They were messengers. They were high saints that was on this earth. Why wouldn't I believe it? Why? They're still here. A lot of them are still here. Okay? Believe me or not. You have to believe that during the time we're in right now, there's a representative there. Here. I believe it. And I know this for a fact. So there's going to be a representative. There is and there will always be a representative here on earth. I know this to be true. So in my journey of religions, here it is. Before I met my husband, I was already thinking to myself that, I feel like it's more than just going to church. I feel like it's way more that we should be doing. Now, I grew up in church where mostly all my family went to the same church, or at some point in time they was there. Let me tell you, I had the best times there. I went to vacation Bible school, Bible study, Sunday and everything like that. But I still felt like, oh, there is more. Let me tell you, Pastor Lance Watson, that's where I learned when he said to read the story of Job. And then he broke it down and he said, we all are Job. We have a little bit of Job in us somewhere. And that is so true. Like we, at some point in time, know somebody in our family or we ourselves get an illness, get things get taken away from us. We might end up being homeless. Family, children, go away, wife, husband, whoever. So the story of Job is relevant. We all have some part of story of Job, sometimes maybe all at one point in time. So the story of Job is real. So I give thanks for me being in a Baptist upbringing. And so then after that, I was in the Church of Christ. And in the Church of Christ, I went more into the Bible. And so I'm like, wow, this is stuff I never even read before. And so I was like, okay. And then, so we moved again to a whole nother state and things of that nature. They was in the Nation of Islam. And let me tell you, once we got the Nation of Islam, I was like, stop. I don't need nothing else. This is it. I love, love, love the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and also the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad. Here in the United States, we need those teachers, okay? They are so true. Whether it was said in a way that maybe rubbed you a certain way or whether it's, okay, I got you, I understand. I learned how to make the best of being soup, being in the Nation of Islam, just loving myself, taking care of my home. I learned how to be a woman in the Nation of Islam. I really did. Because like I said, I take all of whatever paths I have been on with me, because all of them have some truth in it. All of it is good for me. So I don't just leave it to the back burner. I'm like, oh no, not for me no more, this and that. No, I learned something, still learning. So I enjoyed that. While my husband and I was going through a separation time, he had called me and he said, he was in the African Hebrew Israelite community. And I said, what? I'm like, okay, I'm good where I'm at. I had written my letter, I had my ex and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't need to move any further. I'm good. And so he was like, well, no, please come and just check it out. So I went to Atlanta to visit him, and he was in the Black or the African Hebrew Israelite community here in Atlanta. Of course, they're all over different parts, and of course have a home. And so I went to Atlanta, and I was like, wow. Just the culture of one, being vegan, changing, your food, changing your attire, your hair, your skin, just everything was just changed, your whole insides. I end up, being a part of the Hebrew Israelite community, and I said I loved and the culture of being a Hebrew. Just knowing that I can make my own clothes, or know somebody knows how to make their own clothes, how to sew. That particular religion brought me back to the point of taking it back to the beginning, when we were the ones making our own clothes. We were the ones cooking. We were the ones going into the field. It still brought me back to that time of slaughtering. And I was like, wow, we really did, if you will, take care of the earth, because it's just this wholeness that I received from it. And I'm like, yes. Just the culture of wearing, if you will, African clothes, things of that nature. It's just, clothes that you're sewing and you're designing things yourself. I was just so in love with it. From being a vegan, I was a vegan for like 7 years, I believe. 7 years. Again, I thought that was it, because I was just such in love with being a Hebrew, and I felt like I was back in my essence. And my name then was Yasmin. It's Yasmeen, and that means a wonderful fragrant spirit offered before Yah, or now you may say God or Allah. I really love that name. Someone still may call me by Yasmin. Let me tell you, I learned so much history, like from getting me and really looking up words that's in the Bible, learning Hebrew, getting in touch with myself, learning more about culture, learning more about the continent of Africa. Let me tell you, it's so much out there to learn, you guys, that you have to open up your mind. You have to use your passport. First of all, get a passport and travel. You have to do that. And I'm still doing that myself. But you really have to get out there. Just know that there's other things out there besides, here in the United States. And so I really got that when I was in the Hebrew community, and just getting back to the essence of everything. And so this is me getting closer and closer and closer back to God. The reason why I left, if you will, that community is because I left a marriage that I was in at that particular time. Me and my husband did not end up staying together, and I ended up remarrying. And so me and that particular person, we ended up not being together. And I just chose to move and not be a part of the community anymore. But not for negative reasons of the community, not at all, not at all. I was still a vegan when I left. I still wore the cultural clothing. I still called myself a Hebrew, everything like that. So it was definitely not that community. Even in Nation Islam, it wasn't them the reason why I left. In the Church of Christ, it wasn't that. Even Baptist, it was my own reasons of the reason why I left. Nothing dealing with any of the religions per se. And so it's just traveling, if you will, traveling to be a better person. And so it came a point in time that I was just walking and praying and walking and praying, and God would just talk to me and would just like, in due time, it's going to get better. It's going to get better, where you will feel free, where you will feel like, hey, I have arrived. You're at a point where you can let go and you can be done. And again, this is my story. You don't have to agree with it. It's just my story, okay? And so my husband had called me and said that, he wanted to have a relationship with our daughter. And I said, okay. And actually that day I had gave him, divorce papers, but it ended up turning a whole nother way. And he was like, just hold on to it for a second. And so, long story short, we ended up getting back together, and which we're still together. And that was in 2009. And I seen it's a picture of our Sheikh, Samin Bechachun, and he had it in the car. And I was like, Then I looked at him, and it was a light that I promise you, it was a light that I seen on him. And I was like, wow, he looks like a totally different person. And I said, And so he began to share with me the path of Mouride and being a Mouride. This is where I am now. So I am a Mouride. I am still a Muslim. He's like, wow, you don't have your hair covered. You're not wearing cultural and things of that nature. The closest thing I can relate this to is being a Sufi, and it's still different than being a Sufi. But that's the only thing that I can relate this to being. That's not to say that when I go to a mosque, yes, I'm going to be fully covered. When there are special occasions, I'm going to be fully covered. I'm going to have on the cultural clothing and things of that nature. Even anytime I have on culturally clothing, it just depends on what I'm going to put on that day. And so, yes, it can be very confusing to the average Muslim or to the average person. Like, girl, what are you doing? Well, you don't look like a Muslim or whatever. A Muslim is one who just desires to do the will of God, or Allah. Allah is the Arabic term for God. So in English, you're going to say God. In Arabic, you're going to say Allah. In Hebrew, you're going to say Yah. So it depends on whatever language you're saying. It's going to have a different name. But you guys, it's not like spook of saying the word Allah. Okay, so being a Muslim, you're desiring and you want to be submissive to God or submissive to Allah, and that's it. So in actuality, that's the same thing of what a Christian may want to do, or a Hebrew, a Jew, or a Buddhist, or whatever. You want to be submissive. Everything else, or the why this or why that towards me, you can ask me and I answer it for you. He said that he was a Mouride, and on this path of Mouride, and that his sheikh was Samin Becho. And I said, okay. And so, he gave me different sites to look on, to read about. And, I looked on YouTube and different things. And I was like, wow. Just to fast forward, in 2009, I did do my bayat, and that's allegiance to my sheikh, who is Samin Bechachun. And I can leave a link down below and can get all into that, or either do another video and talk about all those different words that I said. But for right now, I'm going to keep on going. So I did my bayat, allegiance to Samin Bechachun. I've just really enjoyed being on this path. And as being a Thiantakone is one to give thanks to Allah, to give thanks to God. And we give thanks by slaughtering animals, from a chicken to a camel, any animal that's halal. So we still, of course, following the Muslim beliefs as far as eating halal, or things that even in the Bible that says it's good for you to eat. So any animal that is good for you to eat, that's not what Allah may say stay away from. So for example, pork. We don't eat pork because, one, God just said don't eat pork, because pig was designed to clean, the earth, and they eat anything. Your body is precious, okay? So you should not be eating everything. I'm getting back to the point of even myself when I've said in different videos about my weight and, wanting to be better as far as that, of eating better, doing better, because I desire to live for a very long time. I desire my family to live a very long time. So in order to do that, I need to be healthy. Okay. And so there's things that I need to eat to bring that healthiness to me, different herbs that I can, put in my food and different of that nature. That's my little tangent. Okay. But so we slaughter from a chicken to a camel, and of course, when I say camel, because we are connected, as in Senegal, West Africa. That's the city of Touba. Ashak lived in Janatamawa in Senegal. So when I say camel, they have camels there. Of course, in the United States, we do not have camels. Not that I'm aware of. Anyway, so whatever's here in the United States, we do slaughter. And we read the Holy Quran. We sing qasas, and qasas are poems of Serene Tuba. Another name for him is Sheikh Amadou Bamba. And again, I will leave links below because I know I'm saying all of these things and people are like, hold on, pump your brakes. I don't know who the heck you talk about. It's okay, I will leave a link. Sheikh Amadou Bamba is the one who started this path. Serene Tuba is a servant of the Prophet Muhammad. That's what Serene Tuba means. He's a servant of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. And upon all of the messengers or prophets that I have mentioned in this video, peace and blessings be upon all of them. He just loved the Prophet Muhammad. And so God came to him and said, just stop teaching your disciples just of reading or reciting the Holy Quran, and, teach them through action, through love and whatever you're saying out of your mouth. And so he did that. He said, if you do not desire to be with me in the way that I'm going to be rolling now, he didn't say rolling, but hey, the way I'm doing things now, then I can point you in a direction where you'll be able to, still, be a scholar of the Holy Quran and things of that nature. But if you want to be in the proximity of Allah, then continue to be with me. And so I know I'm saying a lot, it may be a little bit deep, but just roll with me, okay? And so, as a Mouride, we desire the proximity of Allah. We desire to be in Allah, in His presence, in this being now, versus dying to see Allah. So when you're praying, who are you praying to? When you're worshiping, who are you worshiping? See, God had said that He's going to have a representative on earth forever. There is always going to be somebody here. That's why there was a Moses. That's why there was an Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, Jesus. Some may know him as Isa. So there's always going to be one. So there's one here now, and there's maybe plenty of them here now that have that essence of God within them, that they're able to teach you because they've been there already. They've been there. When you know those 7 levels, those several levels of heaven, they've already been there. And so that is the reason why, when we're practicing whatever we're practicing, whoever is teaching us these different things, we want it to be an authentic person so that when we're giving our offerings, it's able to go somewhere and do something that's pure. It's not going to something that's illegal or whatever it may be. So, for example, each religion, if you will, have an exoteric, meaning the outwardly things that they will do. So, like in Islam, you're going to pray, you're going to give zakat, you're going to give, and again, I will have links and definitions all somewhere. Give to charity, you're going to fast, you're going to do these different things. And then you have the esoteric, the inner, that you is like, what's the reason behind what you do? What's the reason of praying? Is it that you're only praying, if you will, 5 or 7 times a day? Or can you pray even in the moment? It might not be all the way times where you're able to go to the mosque and pray or go to church and pray or whatever it is and pray. How about you can pray right now in the moment? So you can always pray at any moment. You can, the word zikr, you can always be in a remembrance of God. You can always do that. So you don't need just, okay, it's 5 o'clock, it's time to pray. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to not get up at those particular times to pray, not to go to your church and pray, not to go to your mosque or synagogue, anything to pray. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying any time is a time of worship. It's a time to giving up of your own mind and your own thoughts and that essence that's within you. Beautiful, young, older, spiritual women. It's any time. So it's any time that you can do those different things. So if you see me of my hair not being covered, and I'm not saying that whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever, judge me, it's okay. But I have an inner something within me that I'm always praying. I'm always, asking for forgiveness. I'm always being thankful. I'm always doing those different things. And I'm asking for forgiveness for things that I know not what I'm doing and things that I know that I have done. It's always time for that. So you don't have to wait for Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, any of those days. Every day, every moment, every second, you can be praying. Okay? That's what I'm about right now. I enjoy every single religion, but I am a Mouride, and furthermore, I'm a Thiantakone. My spiritual teacher is Serene Chun, and he did just transitioned. And so my spiritual teacher is University Joan Sangna Ida right now. And I'm in the United States. And he also appointed University Joan Sangna Batur to be over United States and to help us and to work with us. So, I'm just so thankful in where I am right now. And, I want to be able to say that I have forgiven. I have made sacrifices, meaning, and when I say sacrifice, like if you look at the story of Abraham, and how he was willing to sacrifice his own son. Okay, that's what Tabaski. That's what that's all about. Of when he was willing to sacrifice, he was willing to slaughter his own son. You guys, because he loved God so much that he's like, okay, I'm going to prove to you, yes, I love my son. I adore him, but I am willing to sacrifice him because I have my love for you. Y'all, are y'all willing to do that? Are y'all willing to do that? So and then Allah was like, no, you don't have to sacrifice, your son. Go behind the bush or whatever, and there's a ram or whatever it was. I'm sorry, and he slaughtered that, and so that's what I'm talking about slaughtering. We slaughter from a chicken to a camel, and it's sacrificing. When you sacrifice an animal in the way of Allah, you're giving things to Allah, not just okay. Let me just kill some animals. No. No, we're not just about just killing animals, like in that manner. Astaghfirullah, please forgive me, you know. But in a way that, to give thanks to God. My spiritual teacher, Serene Chun, said the reason why the United States is still running the way it is because of Thanksgiving. Not because of Thanksgiving in the sense of, what they did as far as slaughtering, our people. No. But as far as now and what's going on in slaughtering animals, giving thanks to God in that form, and celebrating with family and with friends, inviting your friends over, inviting your family over, y'all having a feast of food. Not in the way of the, if you will, how they did it, then. No, not that way. He's talking about slaughtering and giving thanks for family and stuff. He's saying that's why the United States is still functioning. And he was like, wow, because he was over here in the United States and it was Thanksgiving. He was like, this is the reason why America's still here. And so when you think about that, you think about Christmas, you're giving your gifts away to loved ones. And sometimes, you don't even have it yourself, but you're giving gifts away to different children in your family. Or sometimes, how in malls they have the angel tree and stuff like that. You're giving gifts to somebody you don't even know. You're giving, money away or this and that. You guys, that is what helped to keep you going. That's what helps to keep you going. You don't just keep all your money to yourself. You don't just keep all your food to yourself. So yeah, if I see somebody that's, out there, they don't even really have to be homeless. It can be, you at work and somebody needs some food. You can give them food. We give thanks with no distinctions, okay? When we say that we're the Thiantakone, we give thanks to anybody with no distinctions. Not just because of somebody's homeless. It's not because of somebody, don't have enough money, nothing like that. It can be a rich person. It can be a person that have a fabulous house. It can be a person that don't even have a house, okay? It's anybody. It don't matter your color, okay? Serene Tuba was the darkest of dark. But let me tell you, it does not matter the color. When it comes to giving thanks with no distinction, it doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your color. It does not matter your status, whether how rich or poor you are. It doesn't not matter all those different things. All that matters is that we're cooking food, we're slaughtering, cooking food, giving thanks to God. Giving thanks to God in a cheerful manner and giving it away. And when you're slaughtering an animal, when you're cooking food, when you're giving to someone, you are actually wiping away your sins. Because some things you're aware of that you may have sinned, and other things you're not. And so, little things could be a sin to God. Stepping on an ant, thinking something in your head, cursing someone out, acting in a certain kind of way. Anything can be a sin, and according to the eyes of law. Of course, we know some things, killing and all those different things that, okay, are obvious sins. But I'm saying that some things that, God does not prefer. So, I know I said a lot in this video, and it may be 2 videos or maybe 3 videos that it ends up being chopping up because I don't want to, bore you out or anything like that. But this topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while in his own religion. And like I said, my answer is still the answer of my religion. It's a religion of love. But if you ask me, okay, to sum it up, if somebody really asks me, I'm a Muslim. I'm in the Mouride community and I have a sheikh, but I sincerely love all religions because they all are one. You might call it different names, you may celebrate differently, but I can promise you, mostly all religions, I have not found one yet that you're going to fast, you're going to give your money to somebody, whether it's the minister, the guru, the this or that. You're going to give your money somewhere. You're going to pray. You're going to celebrate whatever special events, religious occasion it is. You're going to do that in each and every one of the religions. So they are all one. And I'm happy where I'm at. And I'm happy to even love and accept all the other religions. And in fact, as being a Muslim, I must accept all the other prophets and messengers. So when you think that a Muslim, is wrong because they're not Christian, because they're not Jew, because they're not Buddhist, because they're not this, because they're not that, you are so wrong. Because they accept all of them. They accept all of the messengers, all of the prophets. How could we not? God brought them here. God sent them. God sent that particular representative to mankind. And there is always going to be one of those people here, 2 or maybe even 3, 4, or 5 at one time. So I just give thanks for where I'm at. And, this is not meant for a debate. This is because I'm not one of those folks, okay? I'm just sharing you my adventure and my journey. And I loved my journey getting to this point, and I'm still loving it.